The State Division of Gaming Enforcement today began what will be a detailed examination of William O'Donnell. He's former chairman of Bally Manufacturing Company. The division says Bally and O'Donnell have had ties to organized crime and should not be granted licenses for their Park Place casino in Atlantic City. Steve Taylor reports from today's Casino Control Commission hearings in Trenton.
When the cross-examination of William O'Donnell began this morning, the first questions were about a man named Jerry Catena, who was once a secret part owner of Bally. Catena is also said to have been involved in organized crime. Assistant Attorney General Robert Sturgis was interested in the 1950s when O'Donnell was a salesman for Bally. Sturgis wanted to know how much O'Donnell knew then about Jerry Catena.
At any time in the 1950s, did you become aware of the fact that Mr. Catena attended a meeting of organized crime figures in Appalachia, New York in 1957?
I don't know, Mr. Sturgis, when I became aware of that. I heard that at some point, but I don't think I knew about it in the 50s.
O'Donnell has said that when he took over Bally and learned of Catena's interest, he saw to it that Catena was bought out. Bally's and O'Donnell's lawyers objected repeatedly to Sturgis's questions today, saying the Assistant Attorney General seemed more interested in scoring points against Bally than in getting answers. Commissioner Martin Danziger, filling in for the ailing chairman, Joseph Lordi, overruled the objections but cautioned lawyers for both sides to save the speech-making for their final summations. In Trenton, I'm Steve Taylor.
Either throw me in jail or leave me alone. That was the plea of former Teamster Local 560 President Michael Sciarra in a federal courtroom today. The Justice Department is seeking a lifetime ban against Sciarra's serving in the union. Michael Aaron has followed the long-standing battle between the government and the union and spoke with Sciarra for tonight's special segment.
For Mike Sciarra, today was day 2 on the witness stand. Sciarra has never been convicted of a crime, but Judge Harold Ackerman threw him out as union president in 1986, and Judge Dickinson Debevoise is deciding now whether to bar him permanently from the union. Teamsters Local 560 was once the largest union local on the East Coast, and in the mid-'80s became the first union ever taken over by the federal government because of a pattern of corruption and violence under former President Tony Provenzano stretching back 25 years. Provenzano's successor, Mike Sciarra, was stripped of his office because of his ties to the old regime. Judge Ackerman installed Ed Steer, a former state criminal justice director, as union trustee. 2 years ago, Steer allowed a new election, and when the court said Mike Sciarra could not run, up popped Danny Sciarra, Mike's brother. He won the election by a 2-to-1 margin, largely because many union members are fiercely loyal to Mike Sciarra and resent the government takeover. Mike was allowed to become a business agent in his brother's regime, but this year the government said Mike is still calling the shots and got an injunction against him continuing in the union, pending the outcome of this week's trial. The government says that you still exercise influence over this union.
I tried the best not to show it if I did. If I did show any influence was I didn't know I was doing it. And I'm sorry if I did. If I didn't mean to influence anybody or tell anybody what to do. All I did was try to assist people there and do the best of my ability to perform my duties the best way I possibly could.
What does a business agent do that you've been doing for the last couple of years?
Represent our people, help them in their grievances and their problems, help them negotiate contracts, better packs for them, and hopefully they can maintain a good standard of living.
But your brother's been the president of the union.
And he's been doing a good job himself. I assisted him in certain areas. I didn't know I was trying to do things that weren't proper. Evidently, the government felt different, and the judge agreed with him. I'm hopeful I can change his opinions now.
You're such a dominant personality. You understand that maybe in any situation you're going to be in, particularly with this union where you have so many supporters, that you're going to be the leader?
I can't help that. I can't help my personality. I don't intend to be the union. I'll definitely do all in my power to make sure no organized crime people come to this union. I'll do the best I can to tell them to stay the heck away from us and fight them any way we can.
Government prosecutors won't talk on camera. They point, however, to a 1984 tape recording in which Matty the Horse Ianello, a capo in the Genovese crime family, is supposedly passing an order to Sciarra.
Well, I saw him do it then, so I haven't seen Mike in years. I don't know if you want to bring Mike in. No, go. I don't want to see Mike. I don't see Mike at all. I'll give you a list.
Apparently the government feels that if Mike Sciarra is separated from the union will be a cleaner operation somehow.
No person has been scrutinized closer than Mike Sciarra over the course of the last 10 or 12 years. There's no question about that, and the record reflects it.
Well, we're still hearing the name of Matty the Horse Ianello in this hearing, this trial this morning, saying that he gave instructions to you at a certain point in time. He's an alleged Genovese crime family leader. What do you say to that?
That is wrong. He never gave me any orders. I wouldn't take any orders from him. Never did.
Sciarra's supporters have packed the courtroom each day. To them, a ban on Mike Sciarra would be heartbreaking.
It'd be a damn shame because I think we'd all fall apart. Mike's our heart and soul. We did everything we did here for 3 years to keep the Sciarra name up there and to keep the strength in this local. And they're trying to get it the hell out. It's a damn shame.
So what do you hope happens here?
I hope I get what justice calls for. A right to have a right to a free election in Local 560. And as long as I meet all the qualifications of the law, and I never violated any law, I should be allowed to run for office in that local union.
You want to be the president again?
I want to be a working man in Local 560, working for the members of Local 560. That's all I've done. I know nothing else, and I really love doing it.
And there are no mob ties in your past, Mike Sciarra?
No mob ties. No mob ties whatsoever.
New Jersey Network News, New Hampshire.